Hello and welcome to another episode. I am Brian, the Unskilled Commander, and this is Who's That Creator, where I showcase a creator in the Magic content community so that you don't miss out on really awesome content and we get to learn a little bit about the person behind the content itself. Today, I am very grateful to be joined by Emmara, Goddess of Blunder. So, we're going to start with the incredibly low-hanging fruit question that has every time on a stream. Please tell everybody who you are and what kind of content you make and where they can find you.
I don't know who I am. No, that'd be terrible. Just be like,
Well, that was a quick stream. Bye.
I don't have the answer to that question. How you doing, everybody? I am Emmara Goddess of Blunder. I make Magic the Gathering content on the internet and out there in the world. I am a cosplayer. I make puppets and do all sorts of magic stuff over at Magic Cons and different magic events. You can also find me over on twitch.tv/Goddess of Blunder, where I play Magic the Gathering with my wonderful friends, like my wonderful friend here, Brian. We've met each other many a time. I see you all more than I see anybody else. Like my family and things that live like 10 minutes away, so it's so weird. Like, but yeah, you can find me doing all sorts of magic stuff. I'm also one of your Final Fantasy ambassadors. Apparently, I made my camera connect. There we go.
There you go.
Turn on my light. That's probably the issue. There we go. There we go.
Ah,
Now you
okay.
can see me. I'm a professional, I swear.
We all are. That's fine.
I am one of your Final Fantasy ambassadors as well. I've been an ambassador a couple of times for Aether Drift and for Duskmourn as well. I have a lot of hobbies. I enjoy my hobbies very much. If you couldn't see, I'm kind of like a NASCAR. I have all my things all over my body, just so you can tell. All my sponsorships.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
But thank you very much for having me. It makes it very easy to find people I want to talk to.
Right. Yeah. I'm glad you were able to join. This is going to be fun. So what prompted you to become a Magic the Gathering content creator, and how long have you been doing it?
I've been doing it for 3 years now. I started back in January. Been like 3 years. Yeah, so I don't even know what year it is. 2022. Yeah, I went on Twitter. I used to go on there and just enter contests and stuff, and I used to follow the Magic community that was on there at the time, which was pretty small at the time. And so I would just follow people, enter contests. I used to win decks and things all the time on there. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool.
Yeah,
I was like, okay.
sure.
And then one day somebody needed somebody for Spell Table, and I was like, I guess. I was like, I'm terrified. I don't know what I'm doing. I was like, I'm going to play on a stream in front of people. And yeah, I did that, and I was like, wait, I can play Magic anytime? I was like, this is great. So then, yeah, I just kind of was like, I'll just start my own stream so I can play Magic whenever I want at the time I want. That's originally how it all started, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. And then kind of became whatever it is now. I don't know how it went from me wanting to play Magic to being an ambassador. I got lost somewhere along the way.
You did a little fibblethip and just like bounced around and suddenly landed on the ambassador side. I like it. You're like literally like you're in like Wizards of the Coast's like lobby. Where am I?
Yeah, how did this happen? But yeah, I just kind of started out wanting to play games with my friends, and then I just kind of made more and more friends as it went, and then it just kind of became a weekly thing, and then just finding new people through the community. When I had time to actually go through and find new people and stuff, it was great because I had more time to play. I would just invite anybody that I could just so I could grow the community. I was like, everybody come play with me. I just want to play Magic. And I was streaming like 3 or 4 times a week, playing games. The second year I played over 1,000 Commander games.
Wow, that's amazing.
I lost track after 1,000. I was like, okay, I'm done. I was like, there's still like 50 days in this year. I'm like, I'm screwed.
Wow. How do you know that? Did you like keep track of like who you played with and what you play and stuff? Like all of it, or just like in general?
Oh, I was keeping track of everything. I had a little chart, and I was keeping track of who I was playing and what decks I was playing. I was like, statistics.
That's awesome. No, but I mean, I did the same thing when I first started guesting on streams. Like, probably it was like about 6 months or almost a year after I made my channel on YouTube, and I realized there was a community and actually found it and started getting on things. I did the same thing because I started making an Excel file just because I didn't want to play the same decks over and over again on people's streams and thinking I was like, especially if it did well, I didn't want people to think I'm like trying to steamroll or something. So I had a little thing. It's like, okay, I'm on this one, I played, Shieldred or whatever. And on this one, I played this, so I just didn't duplicate them too much. So yeah, I get that.
You monster. That's the first thing you jump to is Shieldred.
Yeah, Bocat. I'm innocent, I swear.
She's our spider mommy.
Yeah.
She takes care of us.
That's right. So you go by Emmara, Goddess of Blunder. So where did the name come from? The Goddess of Blunder. What's that about?
So Wizard stole my name first. I originally my Emmara was formed from Emmara, and well, I combined two names together. It was Emma Frost from X-Men.
Nice.
Was my favorite character at the time during that period of my life, and then Mara Jade from Star Wars, who is Luke Skywalker's wife. She still does exist. I don't know how in continuity because she's technically in special editions of Return of the Jedi. I apologize if I go down any rabbit holes.
It's fine. It's
fun. My hobby. But Mara Jade was one of my favorite characters, so I just kind of combined them together. And I was like, ooh, Emmara. Okay, that sounds fancy. So that ended up being my Xbox gamer tag back in like 1998. So yeah, that's weird, right, Wizards? I know that I created that before you created Emmara in the Selesnya. But and then Goddess of Blunder. I love the Thor comic books. At the time, I was reading Jason Aaron's run of Thor, which is just that's wonderful. So like Jane Foster Thor's tattooed on my arm, and I was like, Goddess of Blunder. I was like, yeah, I F up a lot, so
nice.
Just roll with it.
Yep, just lean into it. That's how you do it.
It's like, just lean into the bad. Sometimes that's the way to do it.
I mean, you're not wrong. That's it helps sometimes.
Sometimes.
So what motivates you to continue to make content? As you said, you've been doing this for 3 years and you grow and you've added stuff to it. So what keeps you going?
I enjoy it. Like, obviously Magic has been part of my life for a long time. Like, I'm an old person. Like Magic, like a lot of these kids that are content creators, I'm like, oh my god, I was playing Magic before they were born. I was like, what am I doing? It's horrible. But like I enjoy my hobbies very much. So like a lot of like normal information comes into my head and just goes right back out. But like video games, my TV shows, my movies, my comic books, like I can tell you every comic book I have upstairs. I can tell you every Magic card I own. Like those things stay in my brain. That makes me happy. Like when I'm at work, I'm usually just making decks in my head if I don't have access to my computer or my phone at the time.
Okay, yeah,
Like,
that makes sense.
so like the things I enjoy, I very much enjoy, and like those are my. Even though this is a hobby, I don't know. It kind of just turned in. It's not work to me. I enjoy it, so it's just kind of like yeah. It makes it easy when something's not. You're not forcing that smile, I guess. Like it's something that you actually do love. Like I can sit here and talk about Magic for like if I needed to do like a filibuster for like a week long, I could sit there and talk about Magic until I pass out.
Right.
Like if that is something I needed to do, I can do that.
No, but I think that's kind of key because I mean, I don't think every creator can say that. And I mean, even me, I don't know that I can 100% say that. Like I love playing Magic the Gathering, and I love like this, talking with friends and talking about all of the nerd stuff, whether it's Magic or Marvel or comics in general and stuff and whatever. But there's aspects of it that obviously, and everyone, I'm sure there's aspects that you don't 100% love, but like, for me, it's the editing, it's like, that just is so tedious to me that it bogs me down. So it's like, I'll make content and then it's like, it'll stockpile because I have like 4 videos to edit. And I'm like, I'm just going to go watch anime. It's like, if you would just buckle down and do it, it'd be done in like 3-4 hours. But that's 3-4 hours of sitting here, getting a card off of Scryfall, putting it in. And it's like, so it's that. For me, it's like, half and half. It's like half I love, half I kind of don't want to do. It's almost like a work thing. It feels like, but to be able to just love it.
That's like, for the most part, like I just do like when I record videos, I don't write anything down. I just make a video, and the first take, that's what it is. Like I think about it for a while. I'm like, okay, this is what Stanley's talking about. Whatever the hell happens is what happens.
Right.
I'm like, I'm not editing this. I don't have time for this. Like my guerrilla campaign that I'm just kind of just doing whatever. Like I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna throw it out there. If it sticks, it's like like if I had to edit, I would probably be really sad.
Yeah, I mean there's plenty of people out there that loved it, so more power to them.
Yeah, good work, everybody.
Yeah.
Not for me.
So what's a piece of your content that you are most proud of and why?
I love my puppets. They make me laugh. I'm a big fan of like Muppets. I always wanted to be a Muppeteer. I used to tell people, I was like, I just want to work with Sesame Street things and
Mhm.
do Muppet things. And I was like, well, you know what? There's not a lot of puppets in Magic. I was like, I know we had a couple of people who were making them, and I was like, you know what?
Mhm.
At some point, I want to have enough Planeswalker puppets
Right,
to
that's awesome.
do a like how they do like in old medieval movies and stuff. They'll have like the puppeteer marionette guy, and he's got his little
Right, yeah, yeah.
like that's what I want to do. Just have that over like in the family area and just put on like a little show that tells whatever the story is of whatever plane we're on at the time.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And plus that would just lead you had enough of them, like, that would just lead into so many great ways to do comedy skits and stuff where you just have
Yeah.
it. There's a lot of
There's
potential there.
there's a Tezzeret being built right now. So I'll have a Chandra and I'll have a Tezzeret. And Choco will be making their appearance this week, so I'm excited
Awesome.
about
I've saw
that.
some of the pictures on your social medias of
Yeah.
like the work on Choco. That looks good.
Yeah, we've been taking pictures of it, and I was like, you know, I should probably actually post things. It's like, and I felt so far behind on it that I hadn't posted pictures that I was like, oh, okay, I'll just do it daily until like the 5th day, and I'll actually be like, hey, look, it's built. This only took 5 days. Yes.
Right. Okay. So since you brought that up, I actually had a couple questions leading into that. So with your puppetry, like what got you interested in that? Like I know you just kind of said you wanted it
Yeah,
since you were, little, but like what really drew you into the Muppets and the puppets and like the idea of making them now?
they make me happy. I don't know. There's
Okay.
something about when I see a Muppet or like Sesame Street characters or like Muppets that just make me happy when I see them. So like, and I know it's either one way or the other. I've found that either people really love them or
Mhm.
they're terrified of them. So
Right.
don't tell me you're terrified of puppets because I will come and find you and
Oh
I
no.
will scare you. And that's
Too cruel. No.
my brain. That's just how it works.
Yeah.
Like you tell me not to do something, I'm like, okay, and I press the button.
Right.
I'm just like,
I said
I'm
don't
like
press the
Groot.
button.
Damn Groot.
No.
But
No, that's what I
my
just told
dad,
you not to do.
yeah, but my dad, he makes puppets and it goes to conventions and stuff. So I kind of just I had been into him my whole entire life, and then
Mhm.
he started up this hobby because he jumps from hobbies like I do. That's must be where it comes from. So,
Right.
so like downstairs in his office is just this giant puppet workshop, basically. So whenever I need supplies and stuff, I go over there. And, like he builds all sorts of different kinds, and like he's built them for people around the world for different
Oh
conventions
wow.
and for TV commercials and things like
Oh,
that.
that's
So
impressive.
like him and his hobbies, he's very creative. Me, I'm very destructive. So it kind of works together
Yeah.
sometimes. Like he's been into like most of his hobbies became my hobbies in some way or shape or form throughout my life. So like RC cars and RC
Oh,
airplanes,
nice.
and at one point he was building RC tanks, like big giant ones, and having
Wow.
wars with other guys who also had giant
Right.
armors. And they
Yeah.
would put keys and stuff. It's like Warhammer on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like,
I think I've seen
it's like
like.
you've gone too far, is what I told him. I was like, I was like, I'll fly around airplanes and cars, but tanks and having little battles. I'll use my little tiny tanks.
Right.
But
So
yeah, I'm
with
sorry.
building the puppets and stuff like that, with making them, what do you feel like? What for you is like your favorite part or the best part? Is it the actual like the construction? Is it therapeutic and you just like lose yourself in the making, or is it the part of like finding the puppet's voice and its personality, like, or something else all entirely? Like, what do you enjoy the most out of the entire process?
The construction part, like the end result, is usually my happiest part. Like, as you're building things, a lot of times you'll sit there and you'll look at it and be like, what the hell is going on here? What have I done? And then once you start putting the pieces together and you get the full form of whatever you're building, whether it's cosplay or a puppet, like even a deck, once you start seeing the pieces come together, you're like, oh, okay. It's
Hmm.
like you feel proud of yourself. You're like, oh, I did this thing.
Hmm.
I created something.
Right. No, that
I'm
makes
not
sense
just
completely.
destroying and
Yeah.
taking. Like, and like I've gotten to walk around with my puppets at Magic Cons. I had my Tarmogoyf when I was Disa, and this last one I had Chandra, and I was the smiles and things that when I was just having her pop up out of nowhere, start talking to people. Like, I don't have any. I don't know. I don't care if I embarrass myself. Like so, I just like harassing people, and they're talking to kids and stuff
Right.
with Chandra, and I was having a good old time.
That's what it's about, though.
Every once in a while, you get the person who would give you the side eye, and then it's just like, like stupid person. I'm like, oh,
Oh yeah,
so sad, and we'll just walk away.
yeah. Those are the ones you ignore. Don't worry about them.
I'm like, you don't like fun?
All right. So, with your creator journey within Magic the Gathering, if you could like go back and change something to make your life easier with the entire process, what would it be? It's not like so much a oh, if I knew then what I know now type of thing completely. It's just more of like, oh, I should have just, not worried about this aspect and just focused here or whatever. What do you think would make things a little easier?
Don't burn yourself out. That's like, don't do too much. Don't
Mhm.
overstep yourself. That's like, know your boundaries. Like, I know when I started, I was streaming like 4 times a night, and that was just my stream. And then in
Mhm.
between, I'd be on guest streams too.
Oh
So
wow,
I was
yeah.
playing Magic like 6 or 7 times a week, and it was just it eventually gets to you like it doesn't become fun anymore when you're like suddenly like, oh, I have to go play. Like wanting to play is completely different. You can tell when somebody's on a stream and they're just sitting there miserable off in their own little world,
Yeah.
and that's not fun for anybody. So,
No, for sure.
like, don't burn yourself out. That's like probably the most important thing. Like, and it happens every once in
Mhm.
a while. You'll just see people just disappear,
Yeah.
and sometimes they come back, which makes me really sad. Like, I've met so many people that were awesome that I'm like, I don't know where they went. I
Right.
was like,
Yeah.
they went somewhere.
Yeah, I've seen it a little bit myself. Like, I mean, I think we probably started about the same time now that you mentioned it, because I'm coming up on like my 3rd year of being a
Yeah.
creator. So yeah, like I've seen some people come and go, and a lot of them, some of them have come back, and then others are just like, well, wonder what happened to so and so.
Yeah.
But not don't burn yourself out is like just a good rule of thumb. Period. I think for everybody
Yeah, pretty much what-
in whatever they're
yeah.
doing, because it's too easy, especially in this day and age, to like that hustle mentality and just the if you're not doing something that's getting you money, or if you're not doing something to whatever, it's like yeah, but you
Well,
can
that's
just
it.
rest. You can just binge a show for a weekend and don't beat yourself up over it. Just enjoy it and move on.
And like, you don't have to be sponsored by things. If it's not something you don't like, and it's not something you enjoy, don't shill it.
Yeah,
That's
real.
like, because I know like a lot of people want to be content creators and that's all they want to do. But like, you can tell when somebody's not into something that they're selling or that they're doing. Like, it's pretty easy to tell. Like, and I can't fake it. Like, I would just be like, oh, this is shit, and just knock it over like a cat. Like,
Yep.
that's my mentality.
Basically, yeah.
Brain doesn't work properly.
Yeah, I wouldn't like. I don't want to ever do that either, because it's like I'm never going to be super famous, so it's like I'm not going to be getting bank out of anything.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to represent something that I don't at least like, and
Yeah,
think that's
exactly.
good.
Like,
So what part of your personality do you feel truly shines through in relation to your content? Like what just because of your joy of magic, like what comes out the most out of your personality?
I think that you could just tell that I'm always having fun. Like, I'm always just laughing and cackling. Like, I don't know, magic it makes me laugh, and when I do terrible things in magic, it makes me laugh. And when other people do terrible things in magic, it makes me laugh. Like, just the whole entire experience of it all, and having those stories to tell. And like, when you tell magic stories to other magic people, they understand. Like, if you try to talk to a normal person and be like, well, yeah, Commander Gruff yesterday, I had him go off, and it's like, they do not give any craps what you're talking about.
Not at
But,
all.
like,
Nope.
you find those magic people, like, you can sit there and you can bond over magic, and then you find out that you have other hobbies and things that we all connect to, and like Final Fantasy coming out, and
Mhm.
Marvel and Spider-Man and stuff. Like, we're all nerd kids. That's where
Yeah.
we came from. Like, so like, magic wasn't most likely not our first thing.
Mhm.
Like, there was something else before that. Like, before I got into magic, I was into Marvel superhero cards. Like, I
Yep.
went to freaking school with my binder, and I would sell my extras so I could go buy more packs after school.
Nice.
Like,
Yeah.
that was my drug dealing. I'm like, hey, if you want to buy some Spider-Man cards, and then I would use my or my money from my trading cards and just go buy more packs, and then I would sell the rest of the singles that I didn't need. I was like, I had quite the system going on, and then
That's the
eBay
smart
showed
way of
up.
doing it.
Oh my god, I was like 13 and using eBay and making just money hand over fist cards and Marvel cards and comic books. My parents were just like, "What are you doing?" I was like getting all these envelopes in the mail with money orders
Yeah.
and cash because there were no credit cards back in the day, and I was a
Right.
kid, so I
Yeah.
didn't have a credit card on file.
Yep.
So
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
I was like, I was an entrepreneur, so I could buy more
Where
magic
did you get that
cards.
brand new bike from? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, keep your eyes over there, mom.
Yeah, you worry about yourself. All right. So, kind of converse on that. Has being a creator shown you a part of yourself you didn't know you had, or has it strengthened a weakness, like you were shy and now or you were bad at public speaking or improv or whatever, and like parts of the has helped grow that or shown you, oh, I actually am good at improv or whatever.
Yes, it has shown me a lot of like. It's made me have to do a lot of things that I didn't know how to do. So, like, either just going on the internet and learning how to hook up OBS and do
Mhm.
things by myself. And, like, I'm not a super social person. Like, I had my small little friend group and we'd play Magic and talk about comic books and
Mhm.
get beaten up. That's what we did. That was the life of the 80s, 90s child.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
Like, all of our stuff was not cool.
Yeah.
Like it is now.
Right. People don't
So,
know how good they
like,
have it now.
yeah,
You
you just
couldn't
don't
just walk
know.
around talking about Spider-Man and people think you're cool or understand you. They're like, you're
Yeah,
watching Spider-Man and you're in high school?
it's so weird now, like having conversations with the normal folk about like superheroes and things. I'm like,
Yep.
they're like, "Hey, Thanos!" I'm like, "What's happening here?"
What do you know about Thanos? Get out of here.
I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Wait a second, I could talk to normal people about things I like. This is wonderful." But yeah, I'm still pretty bad with people. Like I don't know. If they don't have things that are in common, like our hobbies,
Mhm.
I just shut down some, which I hate. Like my brain just is like, oh, I'm at a bank party, work party, and I just shut down. People are talking. I'm just like, eh. But then like
Mhm.
I get back into like when I go to Magic Con and stuff, and there's just all these people enjoying this thing that I love. Like it makes it so much easier for me to conversate and be social with them.
Mhm.
And like normally that wouldn't have been me years ago.
Mhm.
I just been sitting in the corner going, but
Wow.
yeah, and I've had to do a lot of that weird stuff that I've never like I hosted an auction last year for like an hour for Commander Sealed.
Nice.
I've
Yeah.
never hosted an auction before. I don't know. I was like, okay, let's do this thing.
Right.
I'm just kind of just making it all up on the fly
Mhm.
and like I don't know. It's been a blast. I mean, it's been a lot of scary things that I'm like socially awkward about. Like a lot of times I feel like I'm like Dexter. I'm just kind of like making emotions. I see other people laughing. I'm like, ha, 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 yes, that's what we're laughing about. Like it's just one of those weird things. Like my emotions don't match. Like I shouldn't be laughing when somebody gets hurt, but
Right.
I'm like, are you okay? Like I don't know.
We're a little
I'm just
this is a
rambling.
time to laugh, correct, fellow humans? No.
Yes. I'm like, is this what we are supposed to be doing? I am human.
But no, that's good that it's like helped you grow some of that a little bit and like let you. I'm not even gonna say come out of your shell because that's just like that's too cliche and stupid. But just allowing
Yeah.
you to connect and through something that you care about. So that's pretty awesome.
And like the community is amazing. Like I, there's so many people that I would have never known without magic.
Mhm.
So like I've even throughout my magic journey, the friends that I've lost and the friends that I don't know where they are now, like I still had good times with all those people. Like and I wouldn't have had those times without magic. So or my other hobbies.
So do you have I call it the hell yeah moment for your creator aspect where you were basically, stopped and just something within the creator world happened for you that was just so awesome that you're like, oh yeah, like I'm here, like hell yeah, I'm part of this now for real. Like everyone always has their, imposter syndrome, no matter how big they get, I think. But did something happen that really kind of let you go, okay, I'm here. I belong here.
I've had so many just like surreal moments in the last couple of years that I like none of this I planned on. Like it
Mhm.
just kind of happened. I know that's one of those things that people say, but like most of it just came from playing Magic and being friendly to people.
Mhm.
And like when I got my first feature creator spot, that was like the first Magic Con, and like they were still figuring things out, and it was a mess. But like I was there, I was sitting there with his name, COVID Blue, or is that his name? I don't know. I don't follow anybody else. I don't know what's happening. He's one of the big name Magic people. But we were both just sitting there. We both had a creator spot. Nobody showed up for either of
Oh
us. I'm
no.
just But they had made it during the Eldraine previews.
Oh well. Okay.
So
Yeah. That makes
so everybody was in the completely different area,
Yeah.
and nobody knew what was going on over on our area. And I was just sitting there. I was super bummed, but I was like, also nobody's coming to this guy either.
Yeah.
And it's like everybody knows who he is.
Right.
So
No, it's
I'm
not
good.
just me. Okay, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, and like the ambassadorships and like this Final Fantasy thing has just been insane to me because Final Fantasy was something that that was like my first RPG game that I just like obsessed with.
Hmm.
So like to combine my two loves together and then get to be part of that whole entire thing. I mean, at this point everything is just extra. Like if I come crashing down and my whole entire kingdom were to fall apart at this point in time, but like I did the thing.
Hmm.
I had my first legendary card that I got to preview. Like that blew my mind, and it was a
Awesome.
character that it was one of my favorite characters. So
Hmm.
like I was just like, there's been lots of moments where I'm just like, "Ah, I made it, and then I'm like, oh, I wonder how much further I can climb.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I was like, I want to make Universe Beyond. So I would destroy those things. Uh, they could just give me a property, and I'd be like, I'll make a whole entire fucking set. I'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Lock yourself in your room. I
Like,
got this. Just
yeah,
hold
but I'd
my
be like,
baby.
here's the rules. Here's what we're doing. These are the cards for the artists. We're gonna do this.
You mentioned that you really loved food, and I was wondering, what is like a favorite meal to make for you? Like, what is something that your go to? Like, you absolutely love it.
I love fish. I love salmon. Like, I can make. There's the things I love. I'm very good at.
Mhm.
So, like food, I am very good at making food. Baking, terrible. That's science.
Right? Yeah, I've
But
heard
when it
that.
comes to food and grilling and marinating and like that, like there's places we go that we won't order certain foods because I make it better.
Nice.
Like, we're
Wow,
just
that's
like,
awesome.
I was like, why would we go here and eat this when we can? I will just make it better.
Hmm.
So, like, I love grilling salmon. I will grill all year long, and I live in Buffalo, New York. Like, I just go outside in my pajamas in the snow and with my grill, and I will cook outside all year long. I don't care.
That is
Like,
awesome. Yeah.
so, like, I am a big fan of this Bachman's Japanese barbecue sauce.
Hmm.
They make these marinades, and like, yeah, a sponsorship.
Yeah. Please
Those are the
sponsor. Hashtag.
barbecue sauce and magic
Yeah.
cards, all the important things in the world.
It could be a food token. Come on, we'll make it happen.
Ah, it's so good. I'm just have right to them and be like, so, like, I have like 6 bottles of it in my freaking refrigerator. It's all the different ones. Like, what wonderful marinade. You can use it for jerkies, fish, steak. Like, that makes me so happy. Salmon makes me happy. I just had some salmon the other day. And like some rice and salmon, marinate
Hmm.
that up, pull it on the grill. I usually do some wood chips and cut those up and put them in a little tin foil thing and let them smoke up the
Ooh.
grill before I put the fish in there.
Okay. Yeah.
Put a whiskey in there.
Nice. That sounds good. I mean, I'm a big fan of
I'm just
like,
sitting here. I'm
yeah,
like, this sounds really
yeah.
good.
I'm a big fan of
What
like
were we talking
rice,
about?
veggies, and salmon mixture. I love that as well.
Yeah, like rice and salmon. I could eat that every day. Like
Yeah.
if that was the thing, you're like,
All right.
well,
So, what is a meal that you don't know but you would love to learn how to prepare and why? Like, what's like sort of like a goal or something? Like any meals that you're like, man, I need to know how to do this.
I wish I could bake my mom's peanut butter cookies.
Hmm.
Like they're magnificent. And like she'll only cook them during like Christmas time, and like I can't talk her into doing it any other time. And I'm like, if she dies, I'm not gonna know how to make these. I'm like, it's a terrible thing to say,
Right.
but I'm like, I'm really worried about these cookies falling into the ether and nobody knowing how to make them for me.
Hmm.
Like
The
I've
world
mentioned
cannot
it.
lose these cookies. Damn it.
Yeah, like if these cookies disappear, the world is over. At least my world is over.
Right. Fair.
I've been at the funeral and it'll just be like, yeah, I never got the cookie recipe.
That's why you're wailing on the casket, not
Yeah,
the loss.
yeah,
Just,
they'll be like, that's why you're so sad.
wow, Amara's really broken up. The cookies.
Cookies. I'm just sitting there with my Cookie Monster puppet going, ah, the cookie.
That was good. All right, so shifting it back to Magic the Gathering, we kind of touched on this, I guess, earlier. Let me see here. All right, let's do this one. If Magic the Gathering went away tomorrow, just like it had existed, but it doesn't exist anymore, would you continue to be a content creator and just shift gears into something else, or would you stop being a creator and move on and just like, okay, I did
I,
that for a while, now I'll do something else?
I would probably just move back to playing video games, and if nobody watched, it wouldn't really matter because I would just still be having fun with myself. I
Mhm.
think that's like the whole entire content creator thing too. If you're not having fun doing the things you're doing, if it's not bringing you joy, don't do it. Like
Mhm.
this
Yeah.
time is too short. Like, and like if you need to take a break and go do the things you do enjoy. Because there's been times where I'm just like, you know what, I'm taking the week off and I'm just gonna play video games. Like,
Mhm.
and I'm not gonna stream them. I'm just going to play them for my own enjoyment.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly.
And like I just imagine that I would just either do that, or just play video games and probably be like, yeah, I'm playing, I may as well just stream.
Right. No, it's fair. I mean, that makes sense.
I would be very sad and I would find out who erased Magic the Gathering from existence and I would eliminate them, but you
Right.
know,
What do you mean you
who
can't?
had time to stream?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
All right, we gotta time heist this. Get them all. Get the team together.
Yeah.
I want in on the
We
team. I
gotta
want to be
fix
part of it. We'll go back and get Magic back into existence.
Da-da-da.
Yeah. But all right. So, pie in the sky, no real limits. What would you love to see your content become? Like, where would you like to see yourself? Doesn't have to be a 5-year plan, but whatever in the future, sometime. Like, what do you want Goddess of Blunder to become?
Uh, if I wasn't allowed to make Universe Beyond, which most likely will never happen,
What?
I really want to just put on a Magic musical slash play at one of these.
That would be.
Like I wrote this whole entire Phyrexia the musical that's
Mhm.
like a 5-part musical that is each of the Praetors. It has a different part, and it all tells the story of the new Phyrexia leading on to March of the Bishop. I had a lot of time on my hands at one point, and I was like, you know, this would be really cool. I was like, I know all these cosplayers. I was like, so I started writing this ridiculous musical. There's songs and there's it's like I
It's
can make this happen.
That's awesome.
I
That
was
has to
like,
happen now. You have to follow through with this. Like this
yeah, I
this
was like,
isn't like, some people would be like, "Oh, I want to be as big as the professor." It's like, "Oh, that's kind of nebulous." This is like, "No, I have this thing and it sounds awesome." And the community, there's so many people in the community that would absolutely be on board to help with this. Either
yeah, that's why
cosplaying the characters or voicing them or whatever, or just helping behind the scenes. Like, I think that
there's
needs
so
to
much
be a goal.
creativity I think out there that it would be a lot of fun just to have something like that to work on with the community. Like, because we see all the big name people at the Magic Cons and stuff, but we don't see a lot of the like the little folk. We hang out in the featured area and hang out with each other and stuff. But like, I'd like to see them put more of them on display
Yeah.
and their names out there, especially with the Magic Cons. Like, there's a lot of people who don't consume Magic content like we do.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
so like they don't know who we are. They're like, who's this weirdo just over
Sitting at a
here
desk somewhere, yeah.
rambling over here with a puppet? Who let her in?
Yes. Like, okay, now that you've put that out there, I want updates every year. I will help as any way I can.
It's so great. I went back the other day and I was sitting there looking at it and I was like, oh yeah. I was like, not only that, it's like an industrial musical at that. So it's like Nine Inch Nails because Phyrexia, that's what you think of when it goes in there. Like, I
Yeah,
want to have some pops. I want to
right.
just
No, but I
be
mean,
like a
you're dealing
Lady
with the
Gaga concert,
yeah, if
basically.
you're dealing with Praetors, you gotta have that kind of music. I mean, come on, that
Yeah,
totally fits. That's yeah.
I feel like it would be awesome. I feel, and then they could record it and put it on the internet.
Yeah.
Isn't that the dream? Just the 60 years from now, people watching your content going, "What the hell was wrong with these people?"
Or better than that, you start putting it on the internet in parts, like you said, because it was a 5-part thing.
Yeah,
You put the first 4 parts on, maybe 6 months gaps or something, and people it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and people love it. So then the 5th and final part is done live at one of the Magicons on
uh,
stage to finish it
I
all
want.
up.
How cool would it be? Like giant puppets and stuff.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool. Like my dad used to build haunted houses
Hmm.
in our barn next to our house, and like that's what we would do for Halloween.
Hmm.
Like me and my partner, my friends would be actors in the haunted house. So we had all these different rooms, and we had all these electronics, and just like all these different like haunted house traps and things you have, like
Sure.
drop walls and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
it was the best time in the world. I love terrifying people. It is the best. Like, until you're chasing somebody with a chainsaw, you haven't lived.
Yeah, their screams fuel me.
I'm like, I'm becoming more powerful. But we used to have a lot of fun doing that, and that's basically you're putting on like a little mini stage show every time somebody walks into a room.
Yeah, no, you totally are.
And that was a lot of fun. Like
Mhm.
I have fun just building and creating weird stuff. Like I would be terrible as an actor, like a real actor, but like improv and things like that, I
Mhm.
can do.
Yeah, yeah. I was it was back in high school, but I did a haunted house as well. My friends and I, like, it was like it was put on by, I can't remember, but I think it was not by the school, but whatever. A couple of my friends were in it, and we did our little, and just like you said, it is basically putting on a little play over and over again as people walk through. You know, like I was like a demonic butcher, and my friend was lying on the table, and we made water balloon, like snake water balloons for his intestines, and then coated them in like dishwashing detergent so they were shiny and stuff, and then the lights were like dim and reds, and he was like, oh, and I was like, ah, you know, and I was saying
Oh
stuff
my
like, ah, you know, I had like a, you know, butcher's apron on and stuff, like, it goes down great with a little red wine, you know.
I've definitely been Leatherface before. I have my apron that's made of human body parts and faces and crap. It's pretty sweet. Like I have so much Halloween stuff from
Hmm.
like these haunted houses and things, like all of our masks and costumes and stuff. Like I have a room that's just basically a cosplay room
Yeah.
slash costume room. Because before I did cosplays for Magic, because I think I've done 4 cosplays for Magic now, and I used to do superhero ones for a free comic book day.
Awesome.
Me and my partner for like 12 years, we would dress up and wave to everybody. We were in
Mhm.
newspapers, and like
Awesome.
our local comic book store, like was awesome until it wasn't.
Right. Do the
And it
old
made me sad.
invert colors. It was awesome
Yeah.
until it wasn't.
But yeah, comic books and like those, like I definitely done a lot of superhero costumes in my lifetime
Hmm.
and horror costumes. Like for the longest time, I wanted to do like movie makeup and things like that for fun,
Hmm.
just for for funsies. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything as a job that I enjoy because then I would just be sad.
Right, because then it's not as much fun anymore, for sure.
Yeah, like just do something you hate as your job, people. That's
I mean, most people
be
do, unfortunately, but yeah.
like you probably don't have a choice, and it's probably gonna suck. But anyway, but
Yeah,
if you know it's gonna suck, at least you go in. You're like, this sucks. Okay, I'm gonna go do this, and then I go home and do the things I enjoy doing.
right. So speaking of your cosplay, what let's do either end of the spectrum. What is your biggest strength when making a cosplay, and what's your biggest weakness that you want to work on?
Measuring. Measuring is my weakness. I think I know better than everything in the world. I'll sit there and look at something and be like, ruler? You don't know what 6 inches is. This is clearly 6 inches. And then I will just cut things and not mark things. And I'm just like, yep, this end is 6 inches shorter than the other end.
Oh no.
My bad. Like, for some reason, my brain just cannot, for the life of me, it just fights with itself and is like, if you go all the way over there and get that ruler, that's gonna take like 3 seconds. Like you don't have 3 seconds. Don't do that.
I'm on a timetable. I
But
can't afford 3 seconds right now.
yeah, but then also I could just look at things and be like, okay, this is just what I need to do, and be able to do it, and it comes out the way that I picture in my head. So
Hmm.
in some ways, I'm screwing myself over with my weakness, and then the other part is like, yeah, I better pick up after.
Right.
So at least it works out, I guess. It kind of balances itself, and then you end up with a mediocre piece of work instead of it's not terrible, it's not awesome. It's
Right.
just there.
Right.
That's
What's one of your favorite things to work in for cosplays? Like, you know, like the stuff like what, more blood to make armor, or do you prefer like fabrics that you can sew, or like what's your favorite medium within it?
foams. And now that I know that I can use like Eva foam and stuff and like heat it up and bend it and stuff, like I should have just went on the internet and watched videos of YouTube because somebody else has already made the mistakes for me and will
Right.
teach me how to do things properly.
Hmm.
But me, like I said, I think I know better, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna learn how to do this, and I just do it. And then I'm like, yep, should have watched that video on YouTube. Or my dad going, did you heat up the foam? And I'm like, that's a thing I can do. Cool. nope.
But
Like,
I thought heating it up would be too easy. I didn't want to do that right off the bat.
exactly. I'm just gonna bend this and hold it here for like 3 hours until it stays in the shape. I'm not gonna heat this up and take 30 seconds to do this. I'm gonna do it the hard way. Like,
And the best part is you're probably heating it up with your body heat, which is why it was staying. It just took 3
yeah,
hours to do it.
do it the hard way. Like so much of the cosplay stuff has been just like a learning experience, and there's really good like the Magic community, like the cosplay community is super awesome. Like you don't realize how much work goes into cosplay until you're starting to work on them, and you're like, oh
Yeah.
crap, takes hundreds of hours. I can't imagine some of these things that these people have made. Like I've built things and I'm just like, this is taking like I put it like 50 hours into building this thing. I was like, this is insane because it's not good looking. Like these other people are doing awesome work and I can't imagine how long that takes. Like so it's interesting being on the other side of things because
Mhm.
you don't realize how much work goes into it. Like we see them at conventions for seconds or minutes as they're walking by or
Yeah.
they're in the costume contest and stuff like that. They work on these things for months beforehand and they're only seen for seconds at a time or minutes at a time and like it's a lot of work for a very little, I guess. Like my other costumes all need to be fixed. Like, will I ever wear any of them again? I don't know because I want to build more costumes. But if
Right.
I go and fix the other ones, then
Mhm.
like if I was a professional cosplayer, I would probably be more worried about it. But I'm like,
Sure.
I'm just gonna build another costume.
You're right. I mean, it's like deck building. It's that same mentality. It's like, well, I could go back and make that better, but there's this new shiny I want. So, you know.
Exactly. Like I have a Groot costume that I'll probably turn into a 6 costume or a Ren and 7 costume. I'm
Oh,
contemplating
nice.
because
Yeah.
like I'm never going to use it again. It's just been sitting in the garage being terrifying because it's like 7 feet tall and it's built on like PVC piping,
Oh
so the
my
piping
gosh.
goes on top of your shoulders.
Uh huh.
So like the eyes are up here or in the chest area where the eyes are, and then like the rest of the body is up here, and then it
Hmm.
has PVC arms that are like probably like 3.5 feet, 4 feet long each
Oh
arm
my
with
gosh.
like extender things so you can sit there and move them around and it was nonsense. Like I wore it for free comic book day when Guardians of the Galaxy came out because I was like, they're never gonna make a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. That's the dumbest. I was like, I love Guardians of the Galaxy, but that's never happening. And then it happened, and I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to make a Groot costume. I guess this is happening. And that Groot costume was awesome. It was raining terribly, and like the foam, it was just all the water was just running off of me onto everybody else because my costume was completely waterproof, and I was knocking people over with my arms. It was a thing. It was great.
Oh my gosh. That sounds. Sorry, there was a bot in the stream there. I was trying to deal with that. It's still showing up though. I gotta figure out. So we talked on a couple of your different hobbies, but like we haven't touched on comics and Marvel yet. So what extent is it? So like, well, I mean, I know it's a lot, but like, what I mean is, are you a Marvel fan and also like some other comics, or are you just a comics fan and you like is there something just because I know you like Marvel doesn't mean Marvel's your favorite. So like, what is your favorite
I
company
haven't.
and all that and comics?
So comic books in general, basically, like I was always one of those kids that could never be like, oh, I only play PlayStation or I only play Xbox.
Mhm.
Like I only read Marvel or I only like, read DC. So like I was always just reading whatever was making me happy at the time because comic books go through like cycles. I feel like sometimes the writing and art is crap for a while, or you might just not be enjoying whoever's writing your favorite title at the time. So you just find something else new to read.
Right.
So a lot of times I'll bounce from publishers. I'll go through my a Marvel phase and just like binge everything on the Marvel app because
Hmm.
I don't buy comic books anymore just because I don't have space for such
Right.
things.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
like uh, like 35 years of collecting comic books, I have like 20,000 comic
Oh my
books
gosh.
upstairs. So like. Like none of my hobbies I half-ass like so, like Marvel is where I started though because like my dad was into Iron Man and Daredevil and like so I would read those comic books or at least I would look at them and then I found Jim Lee's X-Men
Mm.
Uncanny X-Men 263 I want to say is the one with Black Widow, Wolverine, and Captain America, and a story from their past of them
Mm-hmm.
working together, by Jim Lee, and the artwork and everything about it was just sang to me. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm an X-Men fan. It's like, I don't know who this Wolverine guy is, but I'm in. Captain America. He's friends with Captain America. He can't be that bad.
Right, exactly.
This lady, she can't be bad either. I mean, what's the chances she's an assassin or something? But like, I also love my India comics, like Saga. I'm very excited that hopefully we get something from the Fiano Staples again, because we got a Secret Lair, and
Mm-hmm.
that's a fantasy space book, and would go well.
Mm-hmm.
Wizard,
Yeah, Saga would fit,
like,
yeah.
yeah, like the okay, see, this is what happened. I started talking about comic books, and now I was starting to work my way to Star Wars. I had to stop
That's
myself.
all right. I mean, that's part of the hobbies. That's what we're talking about.
It's the circle of life,
It's a
or
circle of
circle of
nerddom.
hobbies, circle of hobby. Like I love my comic books. It was always a way to like being manic and like having issues reading and stuff like that. Comic books are always nice because they had little boxes of text, and I could go from box to box. Like
Mm-hmm.
when I look at a book, like my eyes would just go all over. They still do that, and like
Right.
it's hard for me to concentrate. So like Magic cards, all the text is right there.
Mm-hmm.
The rules are right there in that little box.
Yeah.
My eyes don't have anywhere else to bounce around.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it made it much easier as a kid learning to read comic book wise. It's nice. So I owe comic books and Magic cards a lot.
That's the thing. That's a really good point because I don't think you occasionally hear it, and I think maybe it's gotten a little better over the years, but people, specifically adults and parents, don't give comics and things like trading card games and to a lesser extent video games the credit they deserve in helping kids to read and want to read. It's like just because they're not going to sit down and read Moby Dick doesn't mean when they're wasting their time reading a Spider-Man comic, because if they're reading, they're reading. They enjoy that. Yes, there's pictures, but they're still reading and there's still storylines and stuff. And that is something that better than nothing, basically. And same with like reading, just like you said, reading Magic cards as well. You're still reading and you're thinking. And I know there's been papers and studies about how like Pokemon has helped with math because you got to like you're doing the math of the creatures fighting each other, and same with Magic. So it's like, yeah, you're playing a game, and yes, it's not like as educational as a math class, but you're still getting them to do it. And if you can then tie that to math and say, hey, what you just did in that game, it's the same thing. You just got, it's a good segue, and it's a softer on ramp basically to get them to do the more adult stuff of reading an actual novel or like paying attention in class. And if you can make that connection, I think it helps. And that's why like Magic Kids and stuff like that, where it's these organizations that help teach kids how to play Magic and stuff like that. It's not just, hey, we're going to teach them another game to waste money on. No, it's like they're teaching reading and under comprehension and basic order of operations, which is like huge in a computer world. Like if then statements. I mean, that's basically what the stack is, right?
Following rules, like just like there's so many different aspects that you could learn from your hobbies,
Mm-hmm.
and most of the time you don't think about it. Like it's just stuff that we do.
Yeah.
It just automatically happens, so we don't. And like I wouldn't have the vocabulary I do or be able to do the math that I do without Magic or comic books. So
Yeah.
like a lot of a terrible thing, like television shows and movies. That's where I've learned most of my life lessons. Like that's how I don't look up. Like,
Yeah.
like I know not to do this thing because Tiffany on this show did this, and that's what happened.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
you learn from the popular culture. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, especially as like we had the benefit of like, I'm not gonna say we had the better cartoons, but we at least had the cartoons that had life lessons at the end, and like we had those little after episode messages from half of them, like He-Man and Turtles and Smurfs. They'd always like, today we learned about sharing, but it's like they hit you afterwards. They just give you the fun, and then hey, what you just saw, that was a great version of being a good, not a sore loser, or being a good winner. Whatever.
Like,
So
you learn so much stuff from the things that you do.
all right. Well, I hope you had a good time because like I enjoyed that entire discussion and getting the chance to talk to you and learn a little bit more. Everybody in chat, I thank you guys for hanging out and hope you enjoyed it as well. Is there anything you'd like to leave off on? If you have any like Anything you want to plug or whatever, by all means.
Can do. What all do I have going on in the world? Final Fantasy.
Mhm.
That's a thing that's happening.
Right.
I have a whole bunch of deck techs coming out and stuff at the end of the month after the spoilers are done, and I think May 30th I'm allowed to start showing gameplay footage and stuff. So I'll be busting out my precons and causing trouble, and then I've got like 6 or 7 decks built off of different Final Fantasies that didn't have precons made for them. So I've got a Chocobo deck, and I've got a Final Fantasy 8 deck, and a Final Fantasy 9 deck, and a Final
Nice.
Fantasy 13 deck, and a Final Fantasy 15 16. I don't know if I have enough things, but we'll see.
Right.
Like Kefka, I ended up making into a villain deck, so it has all the villains from all the Final Fantasies, because some
Oh,
of the Final
sweet.
Fantasies didn't have enough cards to make a full deck, so I was like, okay. But anyway, you can also find me over at MagicCon Vegas next month, where I will be roaming about with my Chocobo, which will have a speaker, so you'll probably be able to find me, because I'm just going to be playing the Chocobo theme song everywhere. Until Wizards tells me to stop, and
Right.
they escort me out of the building. So they're just like, nope, you're out of here.
Yep.
I'll be doing that, and I'll have my Fang cosplay on Saturday, and I do believe I'll have my puppet on Friday and Saturday. I'll probably end up bringing it all 3 days. We'll see. I'm gonna have it in a little baby Bjorn, so you'll be able to find me.
That's
Last
awesome.
time Chandra was a pain in the butt to hold on my arm, so if you just look for the tattooed lady with the chocobo baby. That's the easiest way to describe myself. The
Fair.
painted lady with the chocobo.
Yeah, Chocobo baby.
But thank you very much for having me. I will be streaming a whole bunch. I'll be all over the place, so if you need to find me on the internet.
Awesome. Well, thank you once again. This was a blast. I really appreciate you giving me your time and answering the questions.